Hey guys and girls, it's Nathan here from Be Invested. Obviously out by the lake today, doing some videos, answering some of the questions that you guys from the community, have asked through. And today I've got a message here from Dylan from my Facebook page that says, "Hey Nathan, everyone is always talking about your property successes and your businesses. But I was wondering if you could either make a video about this or message me back with what are some of your biggest failures in property are and how you got through it, because that is part of what has grown you into my opinion of one of Australia's greatest property investors." So thanks Dylan, humbled to be a part of your motivation and your inspiration and your knowledge to get ahead with your investing. And I think it's important, as I said to you at the time of sending me that, I'll do a video on it so everyone can benefit from it. Property investing, I had these visions when I first started. I was scared. I thought to myself, I can't do this, I can't do that. And I just hustled and did everything that I could to be the best that I could to get to where I wanted to be. And looking back in hindsight, I've come a lot further than what I ever thought I could have. Some of my goals in the early days were buy 10 properties by the age of 30 and stuff like that. And I thought, how could I do that? It's too unachievable, too unattainable. And I look back and I'm like, wow, that was like a long time ago. But at the same time, nothing worthwhile in life is ever easy, right? And when I first started investing, I had a face full of pimples. Now I've got a face full of grey hair. I'm trying to shave with the blade lately to, obviously hide the greys a bit. But lots of lessons that I've learnt over the years. And, most of my results have been, very positive. But there has been a lot of challenges. It doesn't come without challenges. So some of the challenges, the biggest challenge that I've always had from day one is I need money. Like, I'm always broke. Like, people say, "Oh Nathan, you're humble." Well, I'm humble because I don't have time, energy, effort to not be humble, because I'm always hustling to have a better position. So that never stops. I enjoy things along the way, but it's always a hustle. I'm always broke, always, if I had a $1 million landed on my lap today, I'd be putting that $1 million into other assets that are going to, work hard for me and push forward, and money always trickles through my fingers because I'm always trying to put it in to the next investment and make something work greater for me. So money has always been my biggest thing, but I've done well. But, I wish I had more so I could, be more successful from that perspective, because the money of having pieces of plastic with dead criminals printed on them, or nowadays are just entries in a ledger, they don't really change me as a person, but they give me options to do other things, which is buying assets that are going to put more money in my pocket and whatnot. I've had issues with management of staff, whether it be issues in business, managing staff. A lot of shit that I deal with on a day-to-day basis I never signed up for, but it's a part of the journey as well. I wouldn't take it back. I've sometimes thought in my life where I've been so busy and whatnot, I wish I didn't have this stress, but then I realised that that's all a part of what I signed up for when I first started my journey, and I wouldn't change that. I started the businesses because I wanted to give back. I wanted to share my thoughts, my ideas, my strategies, what's working, what's not working for me. And it gives me a platform for that. So if, I could sell my business, or I could do whatever from that perspective, but I'd wake up on Monday with the same problems as to why I wanted to create the business in the first place. So every day there's always some sort of issue throughout that, and I think it's important. What I've always done in my business is tried to put processes, procedures, and improve my structure. So when something does go wrong, I can improve upon that so it doesn't happen again, or that I can benefit from the mistake or whatever that's happened at the time. Looking at my properties in perspective, opinions cost me a lot. I lost a lot of money in the early 2000s from opinions. You don't buy a townhouse, don't buy a unit, don't buy property in the state. I wish I hadn't listened to myself in the early days. I could have done some really cool things, but I didn't, and I try and make up for that nowadays because of the knowledge and lessons that I've learned. Another aspect that I look at from my property investing is just the management of it. Like, I recently had a property, like this year, 2019, I made Blink Property national, so we've got managements throughout Australia in all capital cities. And the reason why I did that is that I had a real estate agent that was in an old property that I had for like over a decade in a regional area. The property manager was paying the insurance for the last 10 years, didn't pay the insurance, the house burnt down, I lost $250,000 in the process of suing them. If they're watching my videos, I'll see you in court, right? It's important to have a good, strong legal team behind you. And that's something that, you know, I lost $250,000, so that's a fucking mistake I don't want to do every day of the week. Not that I even want to do it once, but it happened. And it wasn't due to my fault, but I've went to improve processes so that I'd never come across that again. So that's another thing. Probably going back 3 years ago, the AFR wrote a lovely story about me saying Nathan's going broke and all my haters online. Once again, I'm still here, guys. I'm doing better than ever, by the way. But I had all these haters, and I had the AFR write some articles saying how Nathan's going broke, can't afford to pay his mortgage, getting sued by the banks, all that sort of stuff. Did I ever go broke? No. Did I ever get sued by the banks? No. A lot of misrepresentation when you're just writing articles based on minimal knowledge and trying to create a story out of something. But there was a point where things got very, very tight for a period of about 2 years, just due to the fact that I didn't realise that the whole economy was changing. That's why I threw it out there to everybody about the economy changing, the financial markets changing globally, which we're all starting to see now. But at the time, it was very hard for everyone to see. But I saw it because of my own lending. I was settling 10 mil worth of property. I had no loans for it. It's either lose $1 million of deposits or work really hard to try and settle everyone. And I settled every property, but didn't settle correctly. And there was points where I was settling properties cash, but I was using my rents coming in instead of paying my mortgages. I was settling other properties cash, and that's where that came through. But yeah, so if anyone ever wanted to ask me, I could just tell you what my problems were on that front. So thanks for asking that, Dylan. But yeah, with it, the hurdles to overcome it, like that was a pretty big sort of boo-boo. And in hindsight, would I have pushed myself that hard again? If I knew what I was going to come into, probably not. I probably would have only gotten 5 mil worth of property to settle without any loans, not 10. But it was the way that I'd structured my purchasing, and it was working for me because I didn't have access to the finance at the time. So I'd stage my settlement. So it wasn't for me having a bad cash flow position. It was purely based on the fact that I couldn't get the capital to settle the new properties. And yeah, it was just a tough time that I went through, but I'm on the other side of that now. And from learning that and from the pain of that, just because it caused a lot of stress and crap that I didn't need to go through, I ended up pushing myself and looking for new strategies and new things that I could adopt in my life. And it sort of helped me become a better person, I think, today from learning from that and all the pain at the time, to be a better person and smarter and wiser and all that sort of stuff. So I think it's important, and I'll leave it on this note. I think it's important that you need to make, if you do have a setback, you need to make your comeback bigger than your setback. And I always look to it to not be defeated. I like to be in control of my journey, my future, my life, and it's just my personal freedom and liberty that I like by doing so. And I always like to think if I get screwed up by something, I come back bigger, stronger, better, and a better hustler for that. So from that perspective, it ingrained a few things that I'd change today and open up new possibilities and new realms of dimensions there. So yeah, but building this portfolio, building the businesses, hasn't been easy. I've got like 20 companies in the B Investor group of companies that I have built from scratch, run on a day-to-day basis. None of that's been easy, but it's been a fun journey, and I've got some really cool stories to share with it. I've got really cool communities of people. I've got some really loyal people around me, really cool business. I wouldn't change it for anything. From my portfolio, caused me a lot of stress, grief and all that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm 34 years old. I've got 200 properties in my portfolio, 50 mil property portfolio, about 17 mil worth of debt. So all the stress that comes from it, all the problems that I've faced and all the challenges that I've had to overcome, I guess that's the determination and the strategies and the persistence to overcome those things, which is going to get the result. So like, I welcome challenges because that generally comes with a new level of awesomeness afterwards. So thanks for asking through, Dylan. Hopefully that's answered some of your questions. If you want to go through little intricate details of specific problems that I've had, always happy to share that. But yeah, we'll catch up soon. Have a great day. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Talk soon. Bye.